Hello everyone, Giltar here with an action figure review. This time we'll be looking at the Transformers Prime Robots in Disguise Deluxe Class Knockout. This toy was released in 2012 with a manufacturer suggested retail price between $12 to $15 in North America. Now as you can see, Knockout here has a good resemblance in humanoid robot form to the character model in the Prime cartoon. However, the lack of color applications does hold back the level of accuracy. One issue with the toy is that the promotional photography often shows the toy mistransformed, particularly in the chest and arms of the robot mode as well as the hip area. Transformed as it is here, the toy looks much better and closer to the Knockout character design in the cartoon. Now as you can see, the toy comes with some weapons. It actually is a double-ended battle spear, which can be split into two different or separate battle spikes according to the packaging documentation. Knockout has an above-average level of articulation, with a ball joint at the base of the neck, swivels at what could be considered the shoulder blades, ball joints at the shoulders, hinges at the shoulder flaps, swivels at the upper arms, hinges at the elbows, ball joint wrists, ball joint hips, swivels at the upper thighs, hinges at the knees, ball joints and hinges at the ankles and feet area. Now moving on to the vehicle mode. Once again, Knockout has a good degree of likeness to the character model on the cartoon. Also, once again, the lack of color application is also noticeable. I really like the sporty look of the car vehicle mode. There are two 5mm ports on the rear section of the vehicle on either side, allowing you to attach the spear accessory or any other 5mm peg parts to the toy. I'll finish off with my pros and cons for the toy, starting off with the positive points. It does have a good degree of likeness to the character model on the show as far as the sculpt and design. It's something that I don't overlook because the character design on the show does include a lot of what you could call cheating elements in terms of squishing and stretching and hiding things to transform from one mode to the other. And despite the lack of color applications, there's a couple of good touches that I do appreciate, such as the fading of the silver paint into the purple on the sides of the car. The articulation is actually surprisingly good, with multiple points of articulation that work quite well. The transformation is actually quite fun, for the most part, and even though it utilizes some basic transformation design processes, such as folding of the legs in order to create the rear section of the vehicle, it does incorporate some interesting moves, such as how the feet are put away for vehicle mode. Now moving on to the negative points, or the cons, I have to start off with the lack of color applications. There are numerous areas which should have been highlighted by metallic accents that are just bare red, black, or gray plastic in this toy. I do understand that detail work would incur more of a budget hike, but at the same time, even simple little things like applying silver paint or something to the wheel rims wouldn't cut into the budget significantly. And also, such minor paint applications would actually significantly elevate the appearance of the toy to many people. Unfortunately, as with most Transformers Prime toys, Knockout here suffers from being a smaller toy. And it isn't that noticeable in robot mode, but as you can see here in vehicle mode, if I were to put it beside other toys from deluxe classes of other toy lines, it would really be apparent how small this toy is. And this does give the impression that Hasbro essentially cheaped out on the production of this toy, especially when you also consider the lack of color application. Now, while I appreciate the accessory of the battle spear, the character's use of an integrated buzzsaw hand weapon in the cartoon, to me at least, is more recognizable and more iconic. Having that kind of accessory wouldn't be any more obtrusive than having this large spear in my opinion, and I think it would have been a better choice for an accessory. Now the back of the robot mode torso, well, for a lack of a better term, it's empty, and it does look unfinished. It is due to the transformation design, and it is unavoidable due to that, but it is also a strongly noticeable issue. And finally, while I think the transformation is good, it does suffer from some complexity in how the arms require a good degree of moving around, pivoting, hinging, and basically unfolding in order to either make it into vehicle mode or to take them out for robot mode. And because these are toys designed for young children ages 5 and up, this is a potential issue that they're going to run into. So overall, I really do recommend this toy. It's definitely not without some significant flaws, but it's a fun toy and I can't ignore that fact. Now, I am biased. I'm a fan of the Knockout character, I'm a fan of the Knockout design, but as I said, because it's such a fun toy for me, I do recommend this if you're a fan of Knockout, and if you're just a fan of the Transformers Prime line of products. So, as usual, thank you very much for watching, have yourselves a great day, and I'll see you at the next video.